Welcome to my Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. Join Larissa and Malerie as they explore biohacking tips for women based on the latest science and research available today. Let them help you unlock your best self. It's time to hack smarter, not harder, together.
Hello, hello. We are back. And today we are talking about biohacking on a budget. We've both been very excited to talk about this one because we're all about cost savings. I mean, Larissa and I are bargain shoppers, first of all. That is what we like to do in our free time. So when we get to talk about health and longevity and optimizing your health in a way that is free or cheap, then it's just all of the good things in one conversation. So,
yeah, this whole thing is my love language.
yes, yeah, so true. So today we're going to talk about so many cheap and free options available to you to start into optimizing your health and longevity through biohacking. We're going to break them down between cost savings, free, and low investment options, right? And then we're going to walk through a sample protocol that you could actually use in your daily life. And then we will end with some key takeaways and some questions from the community.
Yes, it's a great episode today because we are going to talk about low, free, and actually things that you can do to save you money. And it's a great way to start the year and get your routines in and start the foundational habits that are going to set you up for success for the whole year.
Yep, it's so true. And honestly, biohacking doesn't have to be expensive. That is the point. Like of course, there's fancy gadgets and there's so many things you can buy. There's a million things out there, but there's so many things that are free. It doesn't cost anything and you feel so much better for doing them. So I love that all day long. I just love it.
I know you got to keep it simple. The simpler you keep it, the easier it is to do and to maintain. And if you keep your routines simple, your biohack routine simple, then as you travel, you can travel around the world and you can continue doing them everywhere you go. So the more complicated you make them, the easier they are to break your routines. And so keeping them cost effective and something that you can travel with and progress through life with is very powerful. And it could change your whole life.
That is very true because we have our sauna and our cold plunge, which are amazing and we use them all the time. But if we go anywhere, we can't take those with us. So that's a very good point. There's so many biohacks that I originally never would have considered biohacks, but they absolutely are, right? And then B, it's great to be able to take them with you, continue them wherever you go, and can make, just like you said, with consistency, such a huge difference over time.
Yeah. I agree. And I feel like the more we learn about just health tricks, that they are considered a biohack. And I was like, oh, I never knew that was considered a biohack, but it actually changes your longevity. So it is a hack.
Yeah. Yep. That is so true. Okay, so let's talk with cost savings. So we're talking about things that save money by avoiding expenses. And the first one that's very obvious is intermittent fasting. We talked about this at length in November.
Yes, it is so good because if you really do eat in a shorter window, and actually, I think about intermittent fasting, the thing that saves you a lot of money is you don't snack. So, like, you don't have all those hours of snacking. And so, when you really shorten your window, you automatically eat less, eat healthier because you want to eat protein dense, nutritious food, and you eat healthier and it costs you money because you're not eating all the time.
Yeah, it saves you money, right? I think about when I first started intermittent fasting and then I got my husband on board, our grocery bill really did drop noticeably because we just were consuming less food overall and thus buying less food. It's a cost saving habit to have.
Yes.
And also it promotes autophagy, right? Your cellular repair. I know that you were going there.
I was like, all the health benefits. Intermittent fasting is such a quick way to get so many good health feedback.
Yep. Improving insulin sensitivity, improving your metabolic health, cellular repair, weight loss, if that's your goal. It helps with so many things.
Well, with the cellular repairs, if you do that, I remember when we did the 3-day fast, which I've only done one in my entire life. But when we did that just a couple of months ago, I cannot believe how the brain fog literally lifted off me. And I
Yeah.
immediately felt clear again. And I was like, I haven't felt like this in years. It's worth doing just for that.
That's so true. Another one that's very close to this is processed food elimination, right? That's the other thing that you can do. Like a lot of times, the way that you are optimizing your health is not necessarily by adding things to your routine, but it is by taking things that are detrimental to you out of your life, like sugar, soda, those dang delicious potato chips, like
Anything addictive.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And what that does is it's going to reduce your chronic inflammation. That is a huge problem in our country. It's going to reduce blood sugar spikes. Really changing the type of food that you eat is going to support more stable energy, easier to manage your weight, better hormonal balance. So like there's so many reasons why that is also it can be cost saving, right? So and it ties well with intermittent fasting. Those two tie well together. So
yes, they do. They really do. And then there are no cost hacks that are completely free. But the key to a no cost hack is that you have to do it. It has to be consistent and timely. And so you have to, like Atomic Habits, like you have to get your schedule set and really be consistent with it to really see benefits with anything, right? Anything in life, whether it's your kids, your family, work. If you're not consistent with it, then it falls flat and it doesn't work. So you have to be consistent with it. So one of them is sun exposure. The benefits of just going out and getting sun exposure is like having your own red light therapy, but in nature. So it naturally boosts your vitamin D for bone health, and it regulates your mood and your circadian rhythm, and it gives you better energy for sleep and energy. And that's something totally free and natural. All you have to do is get out. What is it? Sunset and sunrise has the red light in it. And so you could get out any time of day, but those two times will give you the red light benefits as well, which.
Right. The key being to avoid sunburns, right?
Yeah.
But don't spend all day out there, guys. Like, let's be reasonable here. Okay.
My room faces not where the sun comes up. So I don't do that often. And I'm upstairs. So I'm like, that's a lot of work to get outside to see the sun.
Every morning I have to take my dog out, and he does not like to go potty unless somebody's witnessing it. So I'm out there every morning. So I'm very consistent with this one.
You have some help. You have some help that you have an accountability partner.
That's right. Jabba the pup, my accountability partner.
Oh, that's funny.
So another one is circadian rhythm alignment and consistent sleep time. So this is a big one that I'm actually researching right now, and it is huge. And it's just really the way that you run your day, totally free. But what it can do is it can optimize your hormone production, like your melatonin, your cortisol, which is a huge one, enhances recovery, and a lot of your longevity markers. So really what it means is that you're doing things like you go to sleep at the same time every night and you wake up at the same time every morning. And in doing so, you're setting a circadian clock in your body. And when you are always going to sleep at the same time and always getting up at the same time, you're going to line up your sleep quality, because really to get that deep sleep that you need, it's usually one of the first things you get at night. And you have to go to sleep at the same time every night because that's your body's cue. Like, hey, this is when we get our deep sleep. So if you go to sleep 2 hours earlier than usual or 2 hours later than usual, you might miss out on some of that. And over time, it gets your body out of whack, you get out of your rhythm, and it can be hard to kind of get back into that, right?
I think this is one hack that I've naturally been good at my whole life.
Yeah. You're have always been a pro. I remember we'd be watching Clueless or something, and you would be asleep.
Because if it hit my time, I'm like, I'm out. But then before that, I'm like an Energizer Bunny. I can go, 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 go. And then as soon as my time hits, I'm like, and I'm done.
That's so true. This is one that I am terrible at. So I'm having to really focus on this one.
I know when we were younger, you used to laugh at me. And now that we're older, I get to laugh at you.
Yep, it's true. The tables have turned.
Have shifted. No, I love it. Another Another great hack is to avoid screen time an hour before bed. And this is where I feel like a lot of people fall flat, including myself, because by the time you get
Mhm.
out your kids taken care of and your family and dinner cleaned up and you've done all the things, and then when you finally get some downtime, like you want to go on and check your email and do social media or just relax and unwind and kind of take a break from the stressors of the day. And so it definitely is a easy habit to into, but it's a bad habit to get into. So an hour before you go to bed,
Yeah.
you need to avoid all screens. So this helps you reduce the blue light interference for deeper sleep. So that's why they have all those glasses, like a blue light blocker glasses and all these
Yeah.
things that you can now put on your reading glasses and all these different things, is because it really helps you get your deeper sleep and it lowers your evening cortisol. And so for women, everybody stresses, but in women specifically, we're more susceptible to stress. And
Right.
this will help lower cortisol in the evening and it will help you manage it better. So to do that, we recommend you have to distract, you have to trick your brain. So if I don't want
Yep.
myself to be on a screen, I need to read a book. I need to do something else to distract my brain.
Yeah. Well, but this is the thing. You could spend money on blue light glasses, or you could just not use those screens for an hour before bed, and that's free. So I was
Yeah.
thinking while we're talking, I'm like, man, I should really get some of those blue light glasses and try them. Or I could just save money and put my freaking phone down.
Yeah. But you have to be intentional with it, and
You do.
realize that I'm doing this for my health. I'm not doing this to torture myself. I'm literally doing this for my own health.
Yep, it is so true. Okay, another one is grounding, which is having bare feet on the earth, grass, preferably dirt, soil, whatever. Um, and you want to spend a significant amount of time. I think they say like, what, 10, 15 minutes, 20, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, so the benefits of grounding is it decreases inflammation and oxidative stress, and it can improve your sleep quality and your heart rate variability, which is the research that I've been doing. And so this is one that is absolutely free yet again, and has a lot of compounding benefit, right? The more you do it, it's just one of those things you get into a consistent habit. And this can really help with your sleep quality, stress management, so many things.
Yeah, that's one I'm not consistent with. So I'm more consistent in the summer because
Yeah,
the days are longer, so I can sit outside. You know what I mean? Like I can do
right.
more of that. But yes, I definitely need to improve my consistency on that one.
It's just too
'Cause
cold here in the winter. Like I gotta.
yeah,
This is like a spring through fall thing for me. So
it's seasonal.
it's it's just too dang cold.
In California, I don't have that excuse, but I need to
Yeah,
just develop a routine around it.
yeah, that one's a
And
good one too.
another one that is also free is breathing exercises. And we went over a couple of different types of breathing exercises, like deep breathing or box breathing, or what is it, yoga nidra?
I don't know if that qualifies as like a breathing exercise. It does incorporate breathing exercises. It's more of like a meditation.
Oh, that's true. I was thinking of breathing through, like when you described it, like breathing through it, but you're right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's not as
Breathing
specific.
exercises are part of it, but I think it's because those two just pair together so well.
Yeah, yes, I did it.
Yeah.
Definitely associated the two of them together. So the
Yep.
benefits of just breathing exercises, which you could do at any point throughout your day, morning, noon, lunch, snack time, whatever time that you want to add it. It
Mhm.
activates your parasympathetic nervous system for like an instant relief. So if you're stressed out, you can do your and breathe through it, and
Mhm.
it improves your HRV, and which is huge for your longevity.
Yeah, and this is one I think that I naturally have done for a long time. Like when I'm working and I'm, working under intense deadlines and I'm just really stressed. I got a lot of things on my plate. I do think back a lot of times I've just always taking my response to stress is take a deep breath. And you're just like, and really that long exhale is what is signaling your body to chill, right? To
Yeah,
get into that parasympathetic nervous system switch, right?
yeah.
And so it's funny that I think I've naturally done that, but there are more effective breathing exercises than others. So that's one that's worth a couple of YouTube tutorials to find out the different types and what they're supposed to do for you. And that's very worth a little bit of time for a free biohack that is an instant stress management button, right?
Yeah, I love that one that you taught me where I take 2 deep breaths and
Yeah.
then the long, slow exhale. I do that
Yep.
all the time now throughout the day. Whenever I
Yeah.
feel like I'm overwhelmed or I just,
Yes.
about anything, then I do that breathing. I was like, oh, this is easy
I know,
to
I love
do.
it.
So I definitely do that throughout the day. I love it.
Yeah, I love that one a lot. And then what pairs really well with that is meditation, which is where I've been trying yoga nidra because it's supposed to really help with HRV repair and like boosting. So the benefits of meditation alone lowers chronic cortisol levels, enhances emotional regulation and mental clarity. So that one is just, and then it pairs really well with breathing exercises, which helps with stress relief and your HRV improvement. So those two are just, they're like no-brainers to me,
And when we talk about HRV, it's heart rate variability, and that's your body's ability to handle stressors when life is thrown at you. It's your body's ability to handle that. So that's what HRV. So it's very important for everyone, but specifically women, to really monitor your HRV because if you have a low HRV, it's really important to get your HRV up so that you can handle life and pivot when obstacles come in front of you.
Right. It's an indicator for heart health. And so a low HRV indicates that your body does not recover from stress very efficiently. So a low HRV means that stress gets you down and you don't recover very quickly. So the higher your HRV, your heart rate variability would indicate that you are more agile in responding to stressors and recovering from stressors, right? And so you really want to have the number as high as possible because heart issues are such a major health issue for women as you age, right? And so when you're talking about longevity and quality of life, that's a major measurement that we want to watch and make sure we're improving, that's getting, staying up in high numbers. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think we can do a whole thing just on that.
We will actually, because this is something that.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. Full disclosure, guys, my HRV is in the toilet. So, the commercial for the program that I was looking at, and they were like, oh, my HRV is low. Yeah, it was double mine. The example low HRV score for the commercial was double what my HRV average is. So anyway, needless to say, this is near and dear to my heart.
Well, you've opened my eyes up to it, and now I start looking at it, and now I'm measuring it. Now I'm like, what can I do to lower it? I mean, not increase it.
Yeah, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out, and then we're going to talk about it, and hopefully I will be victorious with an amazing HRV score when we discuss it.
I have no doubt. If you are consistent with it, you will be victorious.
I hope.
So the next one is gratitude. This one I love. I feel like the more I learn about the science behind gratitude, it's so easy and it just humbles you and it brings kindness to the world. It's just a simple and easy biohack, and it boosts your dopamine and your serotonin for a better mood. It reduces your stress and it supports your heart health. And it's just a quick way to immediately improve your mental state of mind, and you appreciate all the little things in your life. And it just really makes you focus, because I feel like when things happen, it's so easy to go to the negative, the downward spiral.
And to go into stress, right?
Yeah, and to go into stress. Whereas like a gratitude practice, whether it be journaling or writing or texting people that you care about or whatever it is, then it is really helpful to stop and pause and be like, what are you grateful for about in life? And what are you grateful for at this moment or that day?
Right, like
and
feel that gratitude and like sit in that place, and it really changes the way that you're interacting with the world, and it really changes your perspective. It's so true.
And then you're like, I am so grateful that I get to sit in this car in traffic surrounded by the beautiful sunset or the nice trees or, whatever the situation
You're so
is.
Optimistic. You're like, I love traffic. I'm like, I'm just really grateful that my car has air conditioning.
I'm really grateful that I discovered audiobooks.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes, that is a good one. That one has been an amazing discovery. The other one that we've put together this list, right? Accountability partners is really something that I think is
stated.
Yeah, understated or underestimated, right? Because accountability partners can really increase habit adherence for like long-term results and can give you some social support like when you're feeling stressed, and when consistency is a stressful thing, it can be a buffer for you. And so that one is free. You just ask a friend to support you in something you're trying to stay consistent in. You guys hold each other accountable, and you're both more likely to succeed because of it.
Yeah, and it's huge. It's like 50 or 60% more likely to succeed if you have somebody holding you accountable to it than if you just did it on your own.
Yeah, which is why our rucking challenge in the fall was so amazing, because I felt so accountable that I did way more miles than I thought I would. Like I
Me
actually did the
too.
30 miles in 30 days, and I was like, this is insane. I mean, that
Yeah,
was
me
easy
too.
for you. You did way more than that, but that was a big deal for me.
Well, I also did more than what I would have
Yeah.
normally. So it's good to hold each other accountable, and then you feel good about it when you're done.
Yeah, that is so true.
Or if it's a habit, you just keep on doing it.
Oh yeah. Well, now we are. Now I ruck regularly now. It's
I
like a
did too.
habit now.
I did too. I enjoy it. Now I miss it. And so I'm like, ooh, I need to get out and ruck.
Mhm.
All right. Another one that is free is joy. So we covered this in a past podcast, and it really highlighted
It was chronic stress. Like,
oh,
so for managing chronic stress, right?
you have to find joy. So you have to do things that you're passionate about, that you want to do, that gets you outside of your mind in the current situation. And so finding your passion projects or hobbies that make you feel alive, they help they elevate your endorphins and dopamine, and it combats burnout, and it promotes your overall life and satisfaction. So if you're feeling mundane, or your life is systematic and boring, or like predictable, then you need to look into joy. Like, what brings you joy?
Mhm.
What projects can I start? What hobbies can I start? Because then that will help bring an overall feeling of satisfaction to your whole life, which is so important to your overall health and longevity.
Yeah, it's so true. Funnily enough, this is my passion project.
Yeah.
So, this podcast right now. I love researching all this stuff. So,
And it gives us a platform to talk about it.
yeah, it's really been great pulling the community together. It's been an awesome experience. Another one, cold showers. You
Ooh.
don't want to invest in a cold plunge. This will do it. You just you just turn your water all the way to cold for a couple of minutes, and it will increase your norepinephrine for your mood and alertness, build stress resilience, and it'll reduce inflammation. Totally
and,
free. Well,
and
the
breathe
cost of
through it.
water. And breathing exercises in your cold shower. Good call.
Breathe through the stress of the coldness, and then all of a sudden it will be over, but breathe through it. Like keep breathing through the cold shower, and then all of a sudden it's over, and then you'll feel $1 million.
Oh,
Feel
yep.
like $1 million.
That's a good call.
That's my hack to a hack.
I would just rather get the cold plunge, man. I hate cold showers.
No, your cold plunge, it is. I mean, I think cold showers, I'm just going to put out there, are way harder to do than the cold plunge, because
They
in a
are.
cold plunge, you don't have to get your hair wet. So
Yeah.
it's like, you don't have to go, you can only go like, you could keep your hands out. And I don't know why that makes
Yeah.
a difference, but your
I
head
go up
and
to
your
my
hands.
ears.
Yeah.
And then when I'm really not feeling it, I'll keep my hands out like on my phone. And that's we've talked about, that's my reward. But it's easier than having wet hair. And like, cause I usually, when I do a cold shower, when I'm traveling, I'll do it at the end of my shower. I'll do a whole hot shower and end the shower with a cold shower. And it's hard.
I do the opposite. I start with a cold shower and then I warm up.
That's such a better idea, Larissa. Why have I never thought of that?
Well, but I do have to say, in your defense, starting with a hot shower and then going to a cold shower, you might get more of the benefits of the extreme temperature change. So that might be why cold showers work. So that would be, we should look into that, if that changes going from super hot to cold,
Yeah.
or going cold to hot.
We should look into it, because I do know that there is some benefit from doing hot and cold therapy, right? Like going from one extreme to the other. More to come on that. We're going to do some research.
Yeah, it's interesting. Another, just what we were talking about earlier with the wind down, like with the blue lights.
Yeah,
No.
stepping away from your phone for the last hour.
Avoiding screens. I was trying to think of the word avoiding. So earlier when we were talking about avoiding screens, we talked about, like, I briefly mentioned books. So that is a great free thing that you can get from the library. And you can literally, now that libraries all have a great app, and so you can literally rent and check out
Right on your
books,
phone.
not rent, but just like check them out on your phone, Audible or whatever, and you can read them, and it shifts your mindset, and you can become an expert in something that you want to be, whether it's longevity, health, wellness, or it could be
Mental health.
You could go into a fantasy world and just totally escape. It reduces
yeah.
stress, and it helps give you knowledge and a different perspective. So just getting books from your library and reading it is very, very helpful. So that's a great suggestion to do when you're trying to avoid the screen time before you
Yeah,
go to
and
sleep.
really we cannot ignore when it comes to overall health and longevity, the mind-body connection is a very real thing. So you cannot ignore your mental health and you cannot ignore your spiritual health, right? And so I feel like books are a great way to tend to those two, right?
Yes. Yeah. And it always makes you feel good.
Yes. Also, I'm a huge book nerd, so we're talking to the wrong person because a book is always the answer to every problem in life, every single one of them. So,
I agree. I love it.
Okay, last one of our no cost list is walk 10,000 steps a day. And if you have a phone will track. Like you don't want to get the smart gadgets like your phone, even just having it in your pocket will track your steps naturally, right? And so, this improves cardiovascular health, it improves insulin sensitivity, and enhances your mood via endorphins from more physical activity, right? So, tons of benefits, especially for women when we are more susceptible to stress, like trying to throw in some crazy workout routines. All of a sudden, when you've been a couch potato for years, is going to be probably too stressful. So, a great place to start is just upping your general movement throughout the day. And I think I read a couple of studies where like they really did study like people who work in an office all day and then they go to the gym for an hour 5 times a week or whatever. So that you would consider that a pretty healthy lifestyle. They go to the gym consistently for an hour every day, but they're sitting for 8 hours a day. And so they did these studies of people who go to the gym for an hour 5 times a week and sit all day versus people who just generally focused on moving more throughout their day. And the health markers were better on the people who just moved more throughout the day than the people who went to the gym every day for an hour.
Oh, wow.
How crazy is that?
I believe that though, because I feel better on days where I'm consistently moving throughout the day.
Yeah, our bodies were made to constantly be moving. And so this whole epidemic of sitting at a desk for 8, 10, 12 hours is really detrimental to your overall health and longevity. And
For
so
all ages.
Yeah. So when I was at my last firm, we as a group, I was on the health and wellness committee, right? And so we made this effort to move more. So we set a timer and I think it was like every hour we would get up from our desk and walk around for 5 minutes or whatever. We had our 5-minute walk, you know what I mean? And I felt better. It was such a great challenge that we did. So anyway, that's free, easy, and hugely beneficial.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. All right, now let's move on to low cost hacks. So these ones that we're going to discuss now are minimal investment and often a one-time or affordable ongoing. So if it might be like, for example, the first one is a yoga mat. Yoga is a great stretching practice and you can do it at home. And the only thing you need to get would be a yoga mat. So it enables you to be flexible and strength training, and it reduces your stress through mindful movement, which is very powerful. And as we age, the less flexible we become. And so it really helps with your flexibility to practice. So that is like what we're talking about for a one-time cost. So yoga mat would be a one-time cost.
Yeah, another one would be strength training through body weight or even basic tools like simple weights. I think I started with like 5-pound weights and 10-pound weights. I just bought those and I had them at home and maybe some resistance bands. We're talking very minimal cost. You go to Walmart, right, or Target, and they're not going to be that expensive to grab a few. And the benefits of strength training is it's going to preserve muscle mass for longevity, boost metabolism and bone density, which is key for women. But also growing muscle mass is huge for long-term health. This is so much bigger than I think anybody realized. And the more research they do on women's health, everything that we've been reading that's coming out emphasizes strength training so much. Resistance-based training. It is a must if you want to have any sort of like freedom and autonomy as you age.
Yes, which is what we want to do. Longevity, we want to live our best as long as we can.
Yeah, vitality of life, man. You want to enjoy the life you're living, not be restricted by your own body, right?
Yeah. That's powerful. Another one that is a minimal investment, which we both think that is a huge game changer, is magnesium. Different supplements, right? So magnesium, vitamin D. I really struggle with omega-3s. That is something I struggle with. So I try to eat at Whole Foods and I try to take supplements, multivitamins, minerals. So all of these, depending on what you need and how your diet is, if you eat a lot of whole foods, unprocessed food, then you might need less. But we started taking magnesium. Actually, Malerie started taking magnesium and got me onto it. And I love it. And it helps you improve sleep, energy. Some of these helps with hormone balance. So these are very minimal cost. Unless you go crazy and do like every single thing. So don't do every single thing.
Yeah, right. Because like I think about when I first started magnesium, I'm a very big proponent of lab work, understanding where you're deficient and treating that. But when we're talking about budget-friendly hacks, how I started was simply off of my symptoms. I was having muscle cramps, muscle spasms, migraines, difficulty sleeping, and all of these symptoms led me to, hey, you should try taking magnesium and see if it eases your symptoms. And it took all of the symptoms away. So I was like, okay, there was a cause and effect situation here, right? And so then I was able to deduce that I needed magnesium, which later testing confirmed. So it's the same sort of thing with vitamin D. If you're very low energy, or if you know you're not getting a lot of sunlight, like a lot of these things, you can kind of deduce and be detective for yourself and figure out what you need or what might be most beneficially added. And that's where you invest first.
Yeah. Yeah, based on what you need. I didn't know until I got my lab work done that I was significantly low in omega-3. But now that I know that, I'm being proactive with that and cutting out other things because I was like, oh, I'm not low in that. I don't need to take that. So I'm focusing on what I need to take. But they do say, I read somewhere that omega-3, people who are low in omega-3 crave salt. Like if you're a salt or sweets person, I've always been a salty person. And so that was one of the things they said, that if you're low in omega-3s, you crave salty things. And I was like, oh man, I've pretty much been low my whole life.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So then another one would be whole foods, prioritizing nutrient dense choices. And what this does is when you're focusing on kind of like, I always think of going into a grocery store and you only shop the outer aisles, right? Like the fresh foods, not the inner aisles that are a lot of the hyper processed foods. And what this does is it provides anti-inflammatory antioxidants. It optimizes your gut health and it can give you more sustained energy off of those food choices, right? It's typically going to be more complex carbohydrates, fresh foods, and cutting out all the hyper processed things. So that can potentially be a little bit of an investment because I think it can be slightly more expensive to eat more like whole organic foods than to eat, the cheap processed stuff in the center of the store. But high reward on that one, right? Just for the anti-inflammatory markers.
Well, and if you're fasting, you'll eat less, then you can take that money that you would save and just do higher quality food.
Exactly. When you eat, you're eating more nutrient dense foods. And that's going to do so much more for you longevity wise than almost anything, because what you're feeding your body is so crucial.
Yeah. Well, you're investing in yourself.
Yeah.
Another hack is you could join a community center and in these, they usually have the spas, the cold plunges, the
sauna,
weight training,
right?
the sauna, all that kind of stuff. They usually have that there. And so if you didn't want to invest in all of that, you could do a membership and then get access to all of those things. And then also it benefits because it builds social connections, and you can have accountability partners there, and it will increase your mental health and your motivation. It's
Yeah.
just effective way to do all the more costly hacks that you might not want to purchase for your personal home.
That is so true. It's such a cost-effective way to be able to access a lot of those things for sure without, especially if you don't have space at home, right? A lot of times you're like, we don't have space for all this stuff. And that's such a great option. Another one would be a fitness tracker, like a Fitbit. This can help track your steps. It can track your sleep. And these data-driven feedback that you can get can just help you improve. It encourages daily movement. And the more that you can measure, the more that you can see results and also see lack of results and needing to like focus areas, right?
And along that same lines, nutrition apps like MyFitnessPal, they can help you be more mindful about what you're eating. They can help you optimize your macros if you're eating like a keto type style of a diet. So it kind of takes all the guesswork, and then you can track it and be more precise with your nutrition. And then there's also another app for cycle syncing. If you want to, sync your workouts and your different things in life with your cycle, that helps you support your fertility, your mood, and personalized health tweaks.
Yeah.
So there's several apps that are great for, these are just three common ones, but like there's definitely lots of apps out there. They're not that expensive. Like even a workout app, you could get a workout app for like $40 for the whole year. And then it has the thing. So there's lots of apps out there that really help, that are low cost.
Yeah, I mean, you can really pick and choose what you want to focus on, and that's where you invest. I think that when I first started, I definitely started with the Fitbit and the MyFitnessPal app because it was such a bang for your buck investment, right? And then the last one that we pulled together was rucking, walking with a weighted backpack. We talked about this a minute ago. And this can potentially be free if you have just a backpack laying around, right? That you could throw some soup cans or books or something into. But we put it on the minimal cost because if you wanted to actually get a vest, they're not that expensive. What is like 40, $50 on Amazon? Like it's not a major investment. It's a one-time cost. And then that has huge benefits over time. So it builds strength and cardiovascular endurance way more efficiently than walking. And it supports bone density and joint health, less propensity for injury, unlike running. And great for women during like perimenopause and menopause for the whole bone density situation and trying to maintain that, right?
Yeah. You got to lift heavy things, ladies. Lift heavy things or carry heavy things.
Yep, both. You've got to do both of those things.
Yeah, both of those things. All right, let's get into some basic sample morning routines. Like what would you put as like a sample routine to pair some of those?
Yeah, let's build a protocol. Like we've talked about all of these hacks. Let's build an example protocol that somebody could just pick up and start tomorrow. So, okay, I wrote down some ideas of what just using these free or minimal cost biohacks only, what a day could look like, right? You're going to wake up in the morning, ideally the same time that you do every day. For me, it would be 7 a.m. And the first thing that I do is have a cup of water with a pinch of mineral salt in it. And you do the same thing, right, Larissa?
Yeah.
And then the next thing you're going to want to do is make your way outside, take your dog out, whatever you need to do. Go outside and get some morning sunlight. And if it's weather permitting, put your feet in the grass or on the ground or any natural surface that you can find and get some grounding and sunlight simultaneously. Let's save some time. Now, what you're going to want to do is avoid caffeine for the first hour that you're awake, because when we're talking about our circadian rhythm and wanting to keep your cortisol at like peak in the morning, fall at night, you can extend how long. Basically, cortisol's not all bad. Okay, we're going to cover this later, but long story short, cortisol is your source of energy. So you do need cortisol, but you need it at the right times of day and you need it to not be critically high. So by waiting a little while to have your caffeine in the morning, it's going to help you extend your energy better throughout the day. And so that's going to be something longevity wise that is really good for you. And then what do you think next? We could do exercise.
I exercise. Yeah. I don't have a dog, so I kind of skip your whole grounding section. And then I go right into 15 to 30 minutes of strength training or yoga, depending on the day and how much time I have. So some kind of physical activity in the morning. And then I jump in and in theory, I could have a cold shower.
Yeah, you could tag on a cold shower to that.
Yeah, before you get to work. And then throughout the day, just be very intentional with your walking. Whenever you can walk, move more, like park further away. Get up immediately when you have to go get something. Because I'm one of those people in the past, I try to wait until everything's there and then go do it. Take a couple trips, get yourself up and moving. And
while you're up, make an extra circle around the office. Like, yes, get more steps and drink water. That's the other thing, right? Drink your water throughout the day. Make sure you're staying hydrated. And this is a good time that, ideally you're intermittent fasting. So you're eating only in your eating window, right? So if you had caffeine in the morning, it's like black coffee, plain tea, that sort of thing, right? And then when you open your eating window, you're focusing on nutrition. You're really focusing on nutrient density at that point.
A lot of whole foods, not processed foods.
Yep. And then it would be really the evening routine from there. So as you're winding down, moving towards bed, right, you're going to be focusing on your breathing exercises, because what you want to do is intentionally bring your cortisol down. If you're feeling stressed in the afternoon, evening, great time for breathing exercises that reduce stress.
And then you can move into your gratitude, journaling, or meditation. You could alternate those, or you could do them daily, but those kind of go hand in hand. And then that like calms you down, it winds you down, ending with a grateful heart. And then it goes right into avoiding screens. You want to make sure you don't get sucked into social media, get on your phone, and then hours later it's like 1 o'clock and you're like, oh, I'm supposed to be in bed, and then you've missed your sleep time as well. So avoid
going to bed at the same time every night, right?
Yeah. So create a habit that every night at 8 o'clock I'm going to turn my phone and put it away, because Mary and I are also not very good at this. We need to like have it leave completely.
So bad at this. We're so bad at this.
We're so bad at this. And so what I'm going to try is to actually get a physical book, and I'm actually going to try to read. And so it distracts me from looking at my phone. Because if it's something that I enjoy and it's bringing me joy and it's, entertaining me, then it will be more intriguing than my phone. So
that's a passion thing, right? Like it's something that you're passionate about. So what's really great is that you would need an hour before bed where you're not on electronics. This is a fantastic time that you put your phone down and you get a journal out and you do your gratitude practice through journaling. And then you move into meditation for just soothing relaxation. And then you can read until you're ready to go to sleep, which can be a passion project or something that's like helping you with mental health or spiritual growth or whatever it is that is feeding your soul at the time, right? And then what you usually want to end on is, if you're taking magnesium, great time to take it. You want to take it before bed. If you're taking ashwagandha or something for like cortisol management, you take it at bedtime, right? And then what I do for sleep, because I'm, again, trying to improve my heart rate variability, is I'm doing yoga nidra to put myself to sleep, which is like a breathing exercise, meditation, body scan type of mental exercise that really helps with HRV boosting as well as deep sleep quality. So.
And you just listen to that on YouTube?
Yeah. You just literally Google or search on YouTube yoga nidra and pick how long you want it to last. And then I do a 20-minute one. I'm always asleep before it ends. It literally puts me to sleep, but I sleep better. And my heart rate variability scores have been better on the nights that I'm consistent about it. So yeah,
that's
cool. Actually already seeing improvement. So
some questions from our community. What do you think is the best biohack if you could only choose one?
That's tough.
I know. If you only could choose one, only one to start.
I think it'd have to be intermittent fasting, because it has so many benefits. It does so many things for you. That would be if I could only pick one, that's one I'd pick.
I agree with you. That would probably also be the one I'd pick. But my second one outside of that would be the movement. Just getting out and getting your 10,000 steps a day, I think that helps so many benefits, because usually if you get out, then it already makes you feel better because you're out of the house, you're moving, like
Probably getting some sunlight in there.
getting some sunlight in there, maybe interacting with some neighbors and getting some positive, maybe a puppy along the way, beautiful flower, getting some gratitude in there. So I feel like that naturally lends itself to a couple of other biohacks so easily. So I definitely say movement, getting your steps in or more, and then intermittent fasting. That was a good one. I do agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, next question. I struggle with consistency. What should I do? I'm always eager to start, then fall flat a couple of weeks into it.
I would read Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Yes.
That is such an easy, he breaks it down so simply, and he will help you walk through the steps on how to build a successful habit and how to hold yourself accountable. Because
that is so true.
Because if you could just do one and really do it to the integrity that he talks about in his book, you will be successful. And it's nice to start out with one, because then you can build that one. And then once that one is routine, then you can add on others.
Yep. And then you start habit stacking like we do. And it's awesome. You're like, I need to work in something new to my routine. Okay, who am I going to pair that with? And then it just makes it easier once you get into the habit.
All right. Our last question is, where can women find communities for biohacking support?
That's easy. Come to our Facebook group, My Wellness Rewired. It is so friendly for every level of woman interested in health and longevity and optimizing your health. So everybody's welcome. We have a great time. We regularly do challenges. I think we had a ton of success with our wrecking challenge. So come see us.
And it is definitely a free space to talk about health and wellness and your successes and failures.
Yeah. And there's literally no wrong question, and any level of experience is welcome. So, okay, so let's wrap this up with some key takeaways. I love doing this part. This is kind of like our takeaways from the group of research we did for this. And I just want to remind everybody that health is wealth. You really don't need a big budget to biohack effectively. All of these things were practically no cost. There were a few low cost investments, but for the most part, we talked about free things that you can do every day to feel better.
Another one is consistency beats expensive gadgets every single time. Do not think that you have to buy an Oura ring or the sleep member bed or the I can't think of anything else that's expensive right now. Those
hyperbaric chamber.
The hyperbaric chambers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the cold plunge and the sauna.
Yes.
Those are all great. And there is a lot of science that backs all of those, but you don't need them to start, and you don't need them to be expensive. So really start with the foundational, start small, and then be consistent, build a habit with it. And then over time you can progress if you need to. You might not need to progress into the bigger items if you hack consistently.
That's true. And stack your wins, right? Begin with one or two. And as you get really good at doing those, then you can layer in other things. Start with the free things. Start with the cost saving things. And as you kill it at those, consistently hitting those biohacks, then you can layer in some of those low cost upgrades, right, to your routine.
And the simplest thing is eliminating the bad is often more powerful than adding the good. So you don't even actually have to add anything. You can just eliminate the bad. Like if you cut out sugar, if you cut out soda, if you cut out late night screens and processed food, it all saves you money, and it reduces inflammation, and it stabilizes your energy, and it's faster and healthier than anything you can add.
Yeah, I think it's that wisdom. I saw somebody said it on social media, and I was like, this is so true. And it's like, if you're ignoring the fundamentals, then no fancy gadget or hack is ever going to be worth your time. Focus on the most important things first. And a lot of times that's just eliminating the damage we're doing to ourselves.
Yeah.
Another one, community and joy are underrated biohacks. Accountability partners, passion projects, real human connection. This lowers cortisol, it boosts dopamine, it makes healthy habits sustainable. And there's no app or device required for that. It's just the people in the community around us.
And so make sure you boost each other up, because if you are both helping each other in your community, then it's a win for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right. And then all the practices, make sure they're accessible. If you travel, you can go rucking. You can literally do that anywhere you want because you can just bring a backpack and load it up. Magnesium, you can take anywhere. Your breath work, you can take anywhere. Any of your apps, obviously they're on your phone. You can take them anywhere. Strength training, you can do push-ups and sit-ups. There's so many things that you can do and build in that will build bone density and protect your long-term vitality. And it will help you with your hormone shifts and your mental health and your cortisol level. So make sure that you build in practices that help you thrive and that are accessible everywhere you go, so that it will help with your routines.
Absolutely. And you already have everything you need to start today. I don't think you can say it better than the best biohack is the one that you will actually do.
Yeah.
So pick a free one or a low-cost practice just from this episode and commit to it for a week and see how the small changes create such a big difference for you in your energy, in your resilience, in your glow. It'll happen.
Yeah, I love the glow. I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. We're going to focus on that one specifically because I would like to glow more personally.
You keep me young, so I'll do whatever I'll be your accountability partner. You want me to glow with you? I will glow with you, Malerie.
Done. You all heard it. It's a commitment. We're making this happen. Just don't forget, biohacking isn't about perfection or price tags. It's about reclaiming your health with what's already in your control. So let us know, what's your favorite biohack? What's your favorite budget biohack? Let's be real. And share it with us. We're My Wellness Rewired on all the socials, and we will catch you guys next time. All right, you wellness rock stars, that's a wrap on this episode of My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. We've had a blast dishing out the hacks and laughs, but hold up, let's keep it real.
Yep, we are not doctors. We are just sharing our biohacking adventures and learning right alongside you. Nothing we say is medical advice, so always, always check with your healthcare provider before trying any new wellness tricks.
Absolutely. This podcast is all about inspiration and entertainment, not prescriptions. So join our Facebook group for more sassy wellness vibes. Catch you next time.